Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for render price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. MEXC is turning 7 and we are excited to celebrate with our special partnership. You can enjoy this event with exclusive rewards only with the referral link below. Let's see what happened for render and what to expect next. Of course, don't forget as well to follow on X. We have of course many updates today, Solana, Sui and a link. You can find them, of course, on X account in the description below. So we have, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 towards the upside and impose a finished wave A or a wave 1. In this case scenario, you're looking at an A, a B, and a C potentially finish 3 waves toward the upside, and you're looking for 3 waves down, also finish in the blue box, and then moving toward the upside. Another scenario is a finished, of course, an impulse wave 1. You finished a wave 2, looking at another impulse wave 1, and then currently you finished a second wave 2, and you're looking for a very high impulse wave toward the upside for a wave 3. A final option is, of course, where you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This wave 5 is a leading diagonal for, of course, a wave 5 here, where you would like to finish as well as an impulse, and finishing, of course, 5 waves in a form of a diagonal to form, of course, a wave 1 here, and then moving for a wave 2, and then continuation simply toward the upside. And of course, this is, of course, a big impulse, therefore, toward the upside that we're talking about. Now, as you can see, of course, all scenarios here have a single target, or I would say in confluence as a target between the 0.38 and 0.5 Fib level. Same confluence we see, of course, for the target of this ABC flat. We see a 1-to-1 Fib level hit perfectly inside this blue zone as well, and starting to move towards the upside one more time again. Now, for the bearish scenario, if we are bearish on a render, what is a bearish scenario? Of course, after finishing this short-term bearish scenario, what if we have a longer-term bearish scenario? And that requires, of course, another 3 corrective waves, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the downside to finish a wave C in a wave 2 potentially, of course, and then moving toward the upside one more time again. However, far possibility, because of course the probability here goes for the bullish. Since you have 3 bullish scenario, you have only 1 bearish, which of course higher or increase the probability for the bullish scenario to unfold, meaning you would like to continue toward the upside. However, always watch the crossroad here in case after finishing 3 waves, in case we move continuously toward the downside. Now, if we take a closer look inside a render on the 2-hour chart to see this latest trend or this latest move for render, if it is finished or not. And we can see clearly that we have, of course, 3 waves down. You have an X here as a triangle, another wave Y as a matching, of course, for the W, and finishing this beautiful and a perfect WX and a Y, and start to move towards the upside exactly from this blue box after taking the low. And exactly what we are looking at here, let's move to the 1-hour chart for the micro here. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the upside. Of course, finished impulse, clear impulse, as we can see, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for a wave 5 to finish a wave 1. Perfectly in the blue box again, as expected, of course, for the 0.38 Fib level, where we might see, of course, a confluence or very close to the 0.618, which is also a Fib level for a wave 5 taken from this wave 1 to the top of the wave 3, giving us, of course, this area as confluence. We were very close. However, wave 5, there is no rule really to hit this exactly just by taking the high. You can consider this is a finished impulse in 5 waves for a wave 5. Currently, after this wave 1 finished, you are looking right now for a wave 2 as a 3 corrective waves toward the downside, preferably to hit, of course, the 0.38, which is the minimum requirement for a wave 2, or potentially a little bit lower, and then moving towards the upside one more time again, of course, to finish this wave 2, and then moving towards wave 3 for higher prices. Now, in this case scenario as well, you can be looking at a wave A in a zigzag and a wave B and a wave C. Of course, this is our bearish scenario that we mentioned, of course, in the daily, where you might have only 3 corrective waves and you see continuation toward the downside. If we are bullish, of course, you would like to see continuation simply toward the upside, 5 ways up at least, to finish, of course, here a leading diagonal that we were talking about. You would like to see, of course, this impulse moving towards the upside to take the all-time high, at least as a leading diagonal here, where you finish a wave 1 and you look later for wave 2, and then continuation simply for higher prices. Of course, other possible scenarios is to continue simply for even higher prices for wave 3, for example, impulsively. Now, if we take a look as well on KGT for render, so as we can see for render, we have a very clear divergence here with the bullish signals, and therefore, of course, we saw these waves unfolding, starting, of course, from this divergence here with this confluence of the bullish signal. We saw this wave 5 finishing, of course, this impulse, currently getting a sell signal on the 15-minute chart, which is very, very important, of course. If you see a sell signal on the 15-minute chart, that means, of course, you have started your wave 2 toward the downside in this case scenario. And of course, there is no much more important signal on KGT 15-minute chart to see the sell signal there. So that means, of course, a lot of sellers right now are getting inside for a render. So basically, based on our analysis for the Elliott wave, yeah, definitely we are looking right now for a wave 2 toward the downside. We have started impulsively, obviously, as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. We're looking definitely for a zigzag as an A, B, and a C potentially to hit at least the 0.38 fib level in the blue box, and then we see continuation potentially toward the upside. Currently, our target is this 0.38 at least. That was it for render. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.